Ventured out today, you know how tough it is to get around. Snow and ice are covering the roadways.
That's right. Cars have been slipping and sliding across the region today. Tonight, Robert Boyd is live at Town Center in Virginia Beach with a look at the current conditions.
Well, David and Regina, I'm out here on Virginia Beach Boulevard, and I got to tell you, the plow trucks have been coming back and forth on a pretty routine basis. I would say every 10 to 15 minutes throughout the night. And just to show you how much snow was out on this major highway, take a walk with me. Take a look at this. This is just pile after pile, really hillside after hillside of snow. And at one point, all this snow was out on the street. Now, of course, it's been cleared. So the big issue right now is those residential side streets back in the neighborhoods. A lot of them are still covered with snow. And tonight we spoke with a lot of people who are helping each other out. Squealing tires, a sound heard throughout Hampton Roads Thursday night.
I helped at least 3 or 4 people get out of the rut.
Miguel Ortiz and his monster truck, Big Baby, is among many good Samaritans shoveling out their fellow drivers. 1 second you're gliding, the next you're sliding.
You get out of those lanes for a second and you hit that fluffy snow. And then that slows down the side of your car and you just start spinning sideways. And that's how I've seen like everybody wipe out.
Major highways like Virginia Beach Boulevard are being plowed continuously, while some neighborhood streets haven't even been touched at all. Some drivers haven't even bothered digging out, while others simply gave up.
My car is currently stuck in an intersection in Norfolk, so
you're walking.
So I'm walking.
However, for Courtney Conaway and her friend Clinton, walking can be just as treacherous. All the snow from the street is being pushed onto sidewalks.
Oh, it's a massive challenge because you can either trudge through the snow and wear yourself out, or you can walk on the tracks and it's nice and flat, and you have to look out for cars.
Many businesses with large parking lots are also struggling. Step-in professional teacher and amateur shoveler Ken Garrison. He's making a few extra bucks while school is closed.
We get a couple $100 an hour, depending on the size of the lot.
Ken says in this weather, if you have a snowblower, you feel like a hero.
We also helped a gentleman with a long driveway so that he could get out and get his elderly family out.
13 News Now also got in the spirit of lending a hand. You need a push? Yeah, okay. Go for it. Now, fortunately, that gentleman that we ran into and helped out did make it out okay, so I'm glad all that working out at the gym came in handy tonight. But in all seriousness, those back residential streets and your back neighborhoods here, at least in Virginia Beach, there's a good chance many of those roads will not be cleared by the city. It's just too narrow, it's just too dangerous, so that means the residents have to take it upon themselves and get a shovel and clear out their own way. Live in Virginia Beach, Robert Boyd, 13 News Now.
All right, way to go, Robert. Picturesque scenes across Hampton Roads tonight, but now that the snow has stopped falling, we have some very dangerous temperatures.
Evan, there's little relief in sight. We talked about this earlier. The wind chill advisory is in effect, and it's going to really feel very, very cold.
That's right. The entire area under a wind chill advisory until 10 a.m. It's been a long time since we've had sub-zero wind chills, and we'll see that tonight. Radar sweeping clear now. That wasn't the case 12 hours ago when the snow was still falling across Hampton Roads. Took a little longer to clear out up across the eastern shore as the storm was exiting off towards the northeast. Now behind it, that bitterly cold air. Beautiful picturesque shot here up in Hampton, the Virginia Air and Space Center. But look at these wind chills. Currently, it feels like 9 degrees in Williamsburg, 10 in Norfolk, 7 in Chesapeake. Already it feels like 4 degrees in Elizabeth City, and those wind chills will continue to drop later tonight and into tomorrow morning. So as we take a look at your forecast, as we go through the day tomorrow, starting off with temperatures right around 12 degrees, but that wind chill of 2 below, and there'll be many spots where it'll likely be closer to 4 or 5 below. 23 degrees by noon, 26 into the afternoon, and 21 tomorrow evening at 6 o'clock. But again, those wind chills barely getting into the teens as we go through the day on a Friday. Even colder temperatures tomorrow night and Saturday, but I do have a warm up in the extended forecast. Total pattern change coming up. Details on that in just a few minutes.
All right, Evan, snow plows are out in full force today, clearing paths after the storm. But in Hampton, a reminder of the dangers of the job.
A man was killed in an accident involving a snow plow. It happened as the private contractor was working on East Pembroke Avenue. Megan Shin has more on what happened.
Well, you guys, as you can see, there's still crime tape left up here around this pole, and behind us there's actually blood on the snow. We're not going to show you that out of respect for the snowplower's family, but also Hampton police tell us here off of East Pembroke Avenue is where the whole unfortunate incident happened to the snowplower.
A life can change in an instant while on the job.
We was out here plowing, getting snow right and all that stuff, and it was just a tragic accident, man.
During this brutal blizzard, many people are working to plow snow from roads and parking lots.
We've been working for almost, 18 hours?
Those snowplowers say the job comes with a level of danger.
And we're tired of working out 10 hours or more, and sometimes you don't pay attention to the back.
You can't see back of that pile. There's no mirrors and none of that stuff. It's a lot of work and a lot of screaming going on, and this is what happened.
Hampton police say one snowplow accident was all it took to kill 75-year-old Barry Hale.
All four, it's approximate.
Police say Hale was independently contracted to clear the snow out of Tread Quarters Discount Tires parking lot. Authorities say at some point while removing the snow, Hale was hit by his plow. New York plowers Joe Buttons says he knew Hale.
Well, we all tight that community out here.
Buttons says the tragic part is Hale's grandson was driving the plow at the time of the accident.
Rest in peace to his family, man. You guys be safe out here while they plow.
Hampton police tell us they expect to have the State Department of Labor continue this investigation. In Hampton, Megan Shin, 13 News Now.
What was supposed to be a fun day in the snow ended with an awful accident in Chesterfield County. We've learned a girl died while sledding in a neighborhood this afternoon. We're told the girl slid into a street and was hit by a pickup. First responders rushed to the scene, but the little girl did not survive her injuries. A neighbor says relatives were visibly shaken, along with the entire community.
Did you see her laying on the ground?
Yes.
You saw that?
Yes. With her father laying on top of her, covering her with a blanket. Because he is I think he's training to be a nurse. So, and they're here visiting from Florida for vacation. And probably it's maybe one of the few times that the girl had ever seen snow.
The driver who hit the girl stayed at the scene. No word if that driver will be charged. Police are still investigating.
State police are still warning people to stay off the roads. Between 8 o'clock last night and 4 o'clock this afternoon, troopers responded to nearly 500 calls in the Hampton Roads area. There were more than 100 crashes and nearly 300 disabled vehicles.
Troopers in North Carolina responded to more than 1,000 calls during the storm. Authorities say 3 people died in weather-related crashes. A 29-year-old man died in Beaufort County overnight after his car slid off the road and overturned. 2 other men died when a pickup truck overturned in a creek. South Carolina police are reporting their first storm-related death. A man driving home from work crashed on an icy interstate and hit some trees. The coroner says the driver was not speeding at the time of the crash. We're told the victim died from head injuries.
The lights and the heat are back on tonight at an assisted living complex for seniors in Virginia Beach. About 100 seniors were left in the cold for more than 12 hours during the blizzard. Fire officials say Luther Manor Apartments on Malibu Drive lost power around 4 a.m. this morning. About a dozen of the residents chose to go to the city shelter at Lansdowne High School. Others stayed with family members, while some decided to ride it out. Dominion Energy had the power back on around 6:15 this evening.
Dominion Energy officials say they have hoped to have power restored to all customers by 5 o'clock tomorrow night. They estimated that 90% would be back online by now. About 90,000 customers were without power sometime during the storm. Virginia Beach, Chesapeake, Norfolk, the Outer Banks, and Elizabeth City were the hardest hit areas.
So if there's a location where we can get the most people on with one work location, we're going to go to that location first.
We know that they're working really hard and it's freezing outside, and we're just so grateful that they're doing as much as they can.
Crews from